There are people who quietly pass through their birthdays without cakes, without parties, without posting it online, and without reminding anyone. To many, this behavior seems unusual in a world that constantly celebrates, announces, and broadcasts every personal milestone. But the truth is, there is a deep psychology behind those who treat their birthday like any other day. It is not sadness, nor lack of love for life. Rather, it is a quiet reflection of a different kind of inner world. These people have learned to detach their sense of worth from external validation. They do not need balloons, attention, or applause to feel alive. They do not measure love by the number of birthday wishes, nor do they measure importance through celebration. Their life is not centered around moments of performance, but around a steady, internal rhythm of peace. For such individuals, time is not a series of special days, but a continuous journey. They believe that the day they were born is only one piece of a much larger existence, and celebrating one date does not define the value of their life. Instead, they celebrate small everyday achievements that others often overlook. They celebrate self-growth, quiet victories, discipline, and simple joys. Their happiness is not loud. It is calm, subtle, and deeply rooted in who they are rather than what others see. Some avoid birthdays not because they dislike celebration, but because they prefer authenticity over ritual. They know that many celebrations today are superficial, posted online for approval and attention. They believe real connection cannot be commanded by a calendar date. Those who truly care will express love every day, not only when society instructs them to. These people also tend to reflect deeply on life's meaning. Birthdays remind them not only of life gained, but also time lost. They see them not as occasions to party, but moments to evaluate their growth, direction, and purpose. They may spend their birthday reading, working, meditating, or simply living normally, because for them, growth does not pause for celebration. To treat a birthday like a normal day is often a sign of emotional maturity. These individuals do not chase novelty. They embrace consistency. They do not crave attention. They value inner fulfillment. They know that true celebration is not external noise, but internal harmony. It takes strength to not need recognition. It takes independence to move quietly through moments others use for validation. And it takes deep self-awareness to celebrate life in silence, in peace, in gratitude, without needing the world to notice. There are people in this world who do not need grand gestures, loud celebrations, or public recognition to feel fulfilled. For them, inner peace carries more value than external validation. When they choose to treat their birthday like any other day, it is not because they lack joy or appreciation for life. It is because their sense of worth does not depend on external acknowledgement. They do not crave a spotlight. Their contentment comes from silence, from understanding themselves, and from knowing they do not need attention to feel significant. While others may look toward likes, comments, and birthday messages to affirm their existence, these individuals have already affirmed themselves long before anyone else sees them. Their happiness is rooted in internal stability, not external noise. For such people, life has taught them that applause fades and external admiration is fleeting. They have learned that joy sourced from others' approval never lasts long. What truly endures is inner balance, emotional clarity, and the calm that comes from knowing who they are without needing anyone to confirm it. While many cling to birthdays as proof that they matter to others, these individuals already know they matter, even in moments when no one is watching or celebrating them. Their birthday becomes a quiet reminder not of who remembers them, but of who they have become. They understand deeply that self-worth cannot be rented from attention. It must be built from within. Some may see this behavior as cold, distant, or antisocial, but in truth, it comes from emotional maturity. They have outgrown the need to showcase happiness. They do not ask the world to applaud them for existing. Their existence is meaningful to them alone, and that is enough. They do not compare their celebration to others, nor feel compelled to match societal expectations. The world teaches people to measure joy by visibility, but these individuals measure joy by inner serenity. Their celebrations are subtle: morning gratitude, silence, a peaceful walk, time spent reading, working on themselves, or reflecting on the journey life has gifted them. They celebrate life daily, not on a calendar command. Their relationship with time is also unique. They do not wait for one designated day to appreciate life. They find life in every ordinary moment. Every sunrise, every breath, every chance to grow and evolve carries meaning. A birthday becomes symbolic, but no more symbolic than any other day lived with intention. And because they prioritize inner peace, they avoid the emotional roller coaster that comes with expectations, expecting others to remember, to show up, to celebrate. They free themselves from disappointment by removing the need for external recognition altogether. Their peace is self-earned, self-maintained, and self-protected. In truth, there is something profoundly powerful about someone who can walk through the world without needing applause. It takes quiet confidence to not seek validation, and deep self-respect to know your life has value without audience approval. These people remind us that the highest form of happiness does not shout, it whispers. It lives not in celebration posts or birthday parties, but in a calm mind, a grounded heart, and a life lived authentically from within. Their peace is not rented, it's owned. Those who treat their birthday like a normal day often have a different relationship with personal milestones. For them, self-reflection is not something reserved for once a year. It is a continuous practice. Instead of waiting for a birthday to evaluate their life, they quietly assess themselves throughout the year. They think deeply about where they are going, what they are becoming, and how they are evolving every single day. Because of this, a birthday does not feel like a dramatic moment of realization. Their internal growth is constant, not symbolic. They do not rely on one day to remind them of their progression because they carry awareness of time within them always. While others may panic about age, achievements, or social expectations during birthdays, these individuals rarely fall into that trap. They progress at their own pace, on their own timeline, and they trust the natural unfolding of their life. Their maturity has taught them that growth is not measured in years, but in depth. And depth cannot be forced by a calendar reminder. Additionally, they tend to view birthdays with quiet humility. They do not need to broadcast their age or their journey. Instead, they honor the passage of time in silence. There is wisdom in recognizing that life is not a race, and aging is not a performance. They know that the meaningful transformations are internal changes in mindset, emotional resilience, clarity of purpose. So instead of asking, "What did I achieve this year?" they ask deeper questions like, "What did I learn? How did I evolve? Who did I become?" This internal dialogue replaces external celebration. In many ways, these individuals treat every day like a chance to reset, grow, and start again, making the idea of a special day feel unnecessary. Their life philosophy is rooted in the belief that gratitude, self-awareness, and personal evolution should not be saved for milestones. They should be lived daily. Furthermore, people like this often understand the fragility and preciousness of time better than most. Because of their reflective nature, they realize that life isn't guaranteed, and each day carries equal weight. Their lack of fanfare isn't indifference, it is a quiet reverence for life itself. They do not need special dates to remind them that time is passing. They are already deeply aware of it. This awareness motivates them to live authentically instead of performatively. They choose substance over display, meaning over attention, and presence over tradition. Their peace comes not from celebration, but from the silent confidence of knowing they are growing in ways that cannot always be seen or measured. For them, life is richer when lived genuinely, not when decorated for approval. People who treat their birthday like a normal day often carry a quiet independence that shapes the way they move through life. They don't wait for validation from others to feel worthy, valued, or seen. Birthdays, for many, are a day of attention. Messages, calls, gatherings, gifts. But for these individuals, self-worth does not hinge on external reminders. They don't need social acknowledgement to feel significant. Their confidence is rooted internally, not built on annual reassurance. This does not mean they reject love or appreciation. They simply do not depend on it. Their emotional anchor is not tied to a date, nor to how many people remember it. They have learned to stand on their own feet, emotionally and psychologically. Such independence often comes from periods of solitude, moments in life that taught them the quiet strength of relying on oneself. Over time, they came to prefer genuine connection over performative rituals, meaning over noise, substance over spectacle. A birthday, then, becomes just another day to live freely and authentically, without expectation, without demand. This mindset also reflects a maturity about relationships and human nature. These individuals understand that people forget, life gets busy, and affection isn't measured in calendar reminders. They don't take silence personally. Instead of asking, "Who remembered my birthday?" they ask, "Who is present in my life daily?" Emotional independence allows them to separate love from tradition, presence from performance. They value consistency, not occasional displays. They care more about who checks on them on random Tuesday afternoons than who posts a birthday message online. Their emotional radar is tuned to sincerity, not ceremony. This frees them from disappointment, from resentment, from the silent expectations that often accompany birthdays. They enjoy relationships for what they truly are, not for how they look on special occasions. True connection, in their eyes, breathes quietly. It doesn't need party balloons to show it exists. Moreover, this emotional independence often comes with a subtle kind of peace. When you are not waiting for the world to celebrate you, you are free to simply live. You are not anxiously watching your phone, not comparing who remembered, not measuring your worth by external attention. Instead, you spend the day in the same way you spend most days, grounded, present, self-fulfilled. For some, that may look like working, reading, spending time alone, or being with a few meaningful people. The absence of expectation becomes a form of emotional liberation. These individuals have learned a powerful truth. When you stop depending on others to make your life meaningful, your life becomes your own. And so, their birthday passes quietly, not because they don't care, but because they already carry their worth inside them every day. People who treat their birthday like a normal day often have a strong preference for authenticity over ritual. To them, what matters is not the symbolic celebration, but the real quality of their everyday life. They have no interest in putting on a performance for others, nor in being part of a social script, just because society expects it. They do not need cake, candles, or crowds to feel alive. Instead, they want genuine moments, genuine people, and genuine emotions. If a celebration does not feel real, they would rather not participate. This mindset isn't about sadness or isolation. It is about refusing to trade depth for decoration. These individuals look for sincerity, whether it comes through a quiet message from someone who truly cares, or through the peaceful stillness of spending time alone. To them, life's meaning isn't condensed into a single day. It is scattered through hundreds of sincere gestures, honest conversations, personal choices, and silent victories. Their birthday becomes just another page in a long book, not a chapter that needs to be highlighted to feel significant. Such people often possess a deep understanding of emotional connections. They don't require a scheduled celebration to confirm that they matter. If someone cares, that care will exist beyond one day. If someone loves them, that love will show in daily presence and sincerity. They see emotional truth not in grand gestures, but in consistent kindness, quiet loyalty, and respect. A birthday celebration, in their eyes, can sometimes feel artificial, a moment when society instructs people to perform affection. They prefer unforced bonds. If someone reaches out, they appreciate it. But they don't demand it, don't judge those who forget, and don't take absence as rejection. Their emotional confidence shields them from disappointment. They measure relationships not by birthday messages, but by genuine companionship over time. This ability to see beyond the superficial makes them selective, mature, and quietly strong. In this refusal to participate in performative celebration, there is a deeper truth. They are not running away from life. They are choosing the form of life that feels real to them. They don't need validation, don't crave social currency, and don't rely on special occasions to feel joy. They seek meaning in authenticity, not applause. When the world expects excitement, they choose peace. When others chase social approval, they choose internal contentment. Their life, therefore, becomes quietly enriched, not through public celebration, but through private fulfillment. And when you live with that kind of truthfulness, your birthday truly becomes just another day, because every day already holds worth, already holds meaning, already holds life. People who treat their birthday like a normal day often carry a profound appreciation for time, not as something to measure celebrations, but as something to protect. They understand that every hour, every moment, carries weight. Life to them is not a collection of milestone events, but a slow and meaningful progression of growth, learning, and self-understanding. So when their birthday comes, they don't feel the urge to stop and announce to the world, "Look at me, I am another year older." Instead, they reflect quietly, what have I learned? What have I become? What do I still want to build within myself? In their silence, there is depth. In their refusal to glamorize a date, there is strength. They know that real transformation doesn't happen in one day. It unfolds quietly, in private, through decisions, habits, and introspection. They honor time not by celebrating its passing, but by using it wisely. And when others expect them to celebrate loudly, they choose the more difficult path, living deliberately. These individuals often possess a philosophical relationship with the passage of time. The world teaches people to track life in birthdays, achievements, and external markers of progress. But they prefer a more internal timeline, the pace set by their soul, not by calendars. They understand something many overlook. Time is not something you receive once a year in the form of gifts and wishes. It is something you shape daily through your choices. They might wake up on their birthday and do the same work, follow the same routine, pursue the same goals, not out of dullness but out of reverence. Life does not pause, so they do not pretend it does. They see beauty in consistency, discipline, and being grounded in reality. Their calm attitude toward birthdays is not indifference. It is alignment with a deeper truth. Recognition from the world means little if you do not recognize yourself. Their quiet approach to birthdays also reveals a certain emotional maturity. They don't need reminders that time is passing. They feel it, understand it, and accept it. They don't fear aging because they view aging as evolution rather than loss. They don't cling to youth because they believe wisdom is more valuable than novelty. They are not interested in celebrating years. They are interested in living them well. And when you live with that mindset, your birthday stops being a special day. It becomes a mirror, a moment to see who you are becoming. For them, the real celebration is not found in noise, candles, or attention. It is found in knowing that they are quietly growing into someone they respect. They don't chase moments. They build a life. And in that calm defiance of tradition lies a rare kind of dignity, the dignity of someone who does not need the world's applause to feel alive. For those who treat their birthday like any other day, silence is not emptiness, it's nourishment. These individuals often cherish solitude in a world that is constantly loud, constantly rushing, constantly demanding attention. When their birthday arrives, instead of filling the day with noise, parties, and social obligations, they choose quiet, reflection, and inner peace. They do not see solitude as loneliness. They see it as a sacred space where they can hear their own thoughts without interruption. Modern culture often equates celebration with crowds and joy with noise. But for them, joy is internal, not external. A quiet morning coffee, a walk alone, a moment to breathe deeply and say, asterisk, I am here, I am living, and I am grateful, asterisk. That is their celebration. They prefer presence over performance, tranquility over attention, and meaning over spectacle. This comfort in solitude reveals something rare: emotional independence. Many people rely on external events, compliments, and company to feel seen or valued. But those who treat birthdays quietly do not need others to confirm their existence or worth. Their inner world is full ideas, reflections, dreams, memories, plans. They don't escape people, they simply do not depend on them to feel complete. They are not hiding, they are choosing. They find fulfillment in self-awareness, contentment in simplicity, and strength in self-sufficiency. While society often fears being alone, they have trained themselves to embrace it. And in solitude, they discover a truth many never realize. Being alone is not about lacking company. It is about possessing yourself fully. Yet this solitude doesn't mean they reject others or push people away. They can love deeply, care sincerely, and build meaningful relationships, but they do not attach their identity to others. Their joy does not require witnesses. Their growth does not demand applause. They allow people into their lives out of choice, not need. That is why they do not seek birthday gatherings. If someone remembers and reaches out, they will appreciate it warmly. But if no one does, they remain at peace. They do not measure love by who shows up on one day. They measure it by consistency, honesty, and authenticity throughout life. One day does not define loyalty to them, everyday presence does. Ultimately, their quiet birthday reflects a deeper philosophy. Life is not something to be validated. It is something to be lived. They protect their inner world, honor their emotional boundaries, and cultivate peace instead of performance. In solitude, they find clarity. In quiet, they find true celebration. While the world chases attention, they chase understanding. While others fear being unseen, they are content to be invisible because they see themselves. And the ones who can sit alone, without noise or audience, and still feel whole, those are the ones who have mastered a rare wisdom, the ability to celebrate life not through others, but through the quiet strength of simply being. People who treat their birthday like a normal day often possess a grounded and realistic understanding of happiness. They do not believe joy arrives in sudden bursts tied to specific dates or events. Instead, they see happiness as something built slowly and quietly through everyday choices, habits, and meaningful routines. To them, a birthday is not a magical portal into a better life. It is simply another sunrise, another opportunity to grow, to learn, to live with intention. They refuse the illusion that one day can transform everything. They don't wait for celebrations to feel alive. They don't chase excitement like a reward. They don't depend on external occasions to feel worthy or fulfilled. Their joy is internal, steady, and earned, not gifted by balloons, parties, or attention. And because they do not rely on rare moments to feel good, they suffer less disappointment, less emotional turbulence, and less longing for approval. This mindset reveals a deep psychological resilience. They understand that life is not a sequence of highlight reels, but a long journey made meaningful through ordinary days. They do not wish to escape everyday life, because they have learned to make peace with it. Rather than search for happiness in special events, they search for it in the simple rhythms of being alive. A peaceful walk, a fulfilling task, a quiet evening, a meaningful conversation, a small personal achievement. They celebrate life not once a year, but every time they choose gratitude over dissatisfaction, discipline over chaos, growth over stagnation. Their emotional strength lies in their ability to treat every day as worthy, not just the ones society labels as special. Because of this, they often live richer internal lives. They don't set happiness on a pedestal to be reached only when conditions are perfect. They bring it down to ground level where it can be practiced daily. To them, contentment is not an event, It is a lifestyle, and that view frees them from many of life's anxieties. They do not measure their life by others' timelines or rituals. They do not panic when another year passes. They do not scramble to prove progress. Instead, they ask, am I a little wiser today, a little kinder, a little more aligned with who I want to be? Those questions matter more than candles and celebration. In this quiet philosophy lies a kind of invisible strength. The world teaches us to chase happiness in peaks and applause, but they find it in the steady rhythm of a sincere life. While others fear ordinary days, they embrace them. While others wait for something special, they create meaning in the present. And perhaps the greatest irony is this: the people who treat their birthday like a normal day are often the ones who understand the value of life the most. They do not need one day to feel special, because they have learned to find beauty in all of them.